This is the second AI 101 session for January 26th, 2024. Um, I was just starting to talk about this little game. Uh, Come up with a word and then ask a chatbot to make 3 sentences with that word, and then ask an image synthesizer to make either, images with a word, with the sentences, or a story. And so there was an interesting thing. Now I get totally lost. Let me do this the other way. So here's ChatGPT, and where I write 3 sentences with the word inspiration. Came up with breathtaking view, CEO's grandmother, and a novel. That's cool. So then these sentences are really different. Like they're different subjects. And so it was fun seeing it come up with a story that, that made all those sentences work together. I didn't think it would be able to, but it did. But and then I asked Midjourney and Dolly to use those sentences as prompts. So this is the funny one. Midjourney completely missed the fact that the CEO is talking about. Let me go back here. Um, it missed that the CEO was talking about his grandmother. Um, so it made grandmothers presenting rather than CEO presenting his grandmother. It's really interesting. Anyway. Jeannie, did you make it? No, not quite audio yet.
So, Peter, I am so new to all of this, and I haven't started experimenting with any of the visuals or anything, any of the
Hmm.
visual learning, capabilities.
Yep.
So, you did both of those on the GPT with the Dolly and the Midjourney integration that it has. Is that right?
Nope.
Nope.
Um,
Okay.
so Dolly is built into ChatGPT Plus,
Uh-huh.
and then Midjourney is a completely different thing, and they
Okay.
actually don't talk,
Okay.
as far as I know. Although I do a lot. I do a ton of Midjourney stuff. Midjourney is makes more it still makes more beautiful images, kind of, and it makes really nice photographic images, and I really love those. So I still like Midjourney a lot, and to make prompts, a lot of times I'll do a prompt in ChatGPT and then copy and paste it over to Midjourney.
Good to know. Okay. Thank you.
As far as I know, there's not an API to Midjourney. Otherwise, I'd be even doing even crazier stuff with it.
I think that's everybody's holding their breath for that one, right?
Yeah. Um, Cindy, what LLM are you using? ChatGPT or?
I haven't even really started.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just that's why when I saw this AI 101, I just jumped on it. And especially coming to the meeting last Saturday and the GPT classes,
Yep.
on Saturdays with them. And so I'm
Yep.
very new to all of it. I haven't even built a GPT yet. So yeah, I wish I found you like months ago. So I'll have to go back and look at all the recordings that you're doing. I know you talked about Obsidian last week, and
Yep.
I think we started
Yep.
talking about it on that Sunday. I ended up seeing the post about that. I'm like, oh, I've got to go back and look at that. I want to check out what that's all about. So I'm very, very new in my chat GPT journey.
Awesome. Let me put a link to the wiki that I've got for AI 101, and then that's got a list of all the recordings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Um, Despite the name, a lot of times we'll cover stuff that's pretty complicated, depending on who's here. So, which is actually kind of the way AI works. The AI stuff, it's a mix of like everybody's new and trying to figure out what's going on, and this really complicated stuff that everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. Jeannie, your connection's working okay, I hope.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. I can hear you now, but
Awesome.
this whole screen changed or something, so I can't even
Wow.
do my background setting, but that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, it's good to see
It's good to
you.
see you, or almost see you. Let me do this share screen thing again, and um, I've got a notes page that I like to use. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. I've got one other page here too. Let me try to find it real quick. This one. We've been kind of keeping a list of things, interesting things to talk about. And this is from earlier this week. And we dug in a little bit this morning on kind of advanced use of LLMs and also local LLMs like LlamaFile and MemGPT actually was interesting to try. Thank you, Clara. And I presume, Clara, you mean also on AI 101, right? Or sorry, AI Salon. Let's click on RJ's link here. And I can play. I wonder, let me try to reshare my screen so we can hear the video real quick.
You have to click on the share sound button too.
Yeah, and I've got to stop the current share. So I'll be right back. Share screen. Share sound. Okay, cool.
Hannah dreams of creating cartoons. One day, Hannah's wandering steps lead her to a hidden gem, the AI studio, a haven for creators seeking technological inspiration. Hannah gathers her courage and musters the words to express her lifelong dream of bringing cartoons to life through the power of AI. RJ, intrigued by Hannah's enthusiasm, delves deeper, eager to understand the specifics of the animated world she wishes to create. Hannah's imagination spills forth in vivid detail, breathing life into her characters through a torrent of words and gestures. Together, Hannah and RJ embark on a journey to transform her dream into a reality, exploring the vast landscape of AI technologies. Their determination remains steadfast, even as they encounter countless obstacles in their quest for the perfect blend of AI and storytelling. A moment of clarity strikes Hannah as she and RJ stumble upon an innovative approach, a convergence of AI technology and creative imagination. Hannah experiences the sheer joy of her creations springing to life, their voices echoing through the AI-powered scripts she meticulously crafts. Hannah's groundbreaking work earns her the recognition she deserves, her achievement acting as a catalyst for others to explore the uncharted territory of AI cartoon fusion. Hannah's legacy lives on as a wave of creativity sweeps through the industry, artists flocking to the AI studio in search of their own unique AI-powered creations. The AI studio becomes a sanctuary of innovation, a hub where the marriage of AI technology and creative storytelling forever alters the landscape of animated entertainment.
Pretty cool, RJ.
That was made with like 4 sentences, not 3, 4 sentences.
All starting with inspiration, or all
Well,
the sentences with inspiration?
Well, actually, I made that a week ago or so.
Oh, even better.
But it fit in so well with what you guys were showing earlier, where you were
yeah.
making a story. And that tool is like really cool, and it's free too, at least for, doing a couple of them.
Moderate use, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
moderate
cool.
use.
I am going to, I hope you'll post that to the AI 101 Guild, RJ.
Well, I did
to.
post it. I posted it. It's in the help, because that was actually a response that I made for somebody who was looking to get help making cartoons.
Nice.
So yeah, and that their question inspired me to search for a solution. So that was one of the solutions I found. And what I liked so much about it is it does all the work for you pretty much. You just put in a very minimal description of what you want as a prompt, and it goes ahead and creates all these different possibilities. And then you can
Wow.
pick the different pictures you want. It does the narration and and the panning of the picture and creates it all by itself. It's really cool.
Nice. It's kind of, I like it.
Well, if you want to
Um,
make something impressive very quickly to show somebody, I mean, that's a great storyboard kind of,
yep,
narrated music
yep.
background storyboard tool.
It's well done, and I liked it a lot. And um, uh, earlier today, before the meetings today, I was thinking a lot about. I think it was Amanda who was talking about job hunting and writing resumes and cover letters and things like that with AI. And I was this is something I don't have a lot of experience with. I've got a lot of experience writing, but not so much resumes and job hunting right now. Um, so you can certainly now you can just go to a site and say here's the things I'm interested in, blast everybody. And I was thinking about it, and that's probably not the best way to use an LLM for generating resumes. And I was thinking if Amanda ended up showing up today, what I was going to say is, the way I would use ChatGPT, you could totally ask ChatGPT, write me a resume for, blah. But what I would say instead is, how do I go about writing a resume, right? Um, uh, and and so there's some advice where you want to use the bot as a helper, as an assistant and advisor and things like that. Um, but then it makes total sense. There's also times when you want it to just do the thing, right? Make a nice video for me, and then that I'll take that as a starting place and make it better or whatever. So I guess I'm still trying to that advice goes both ways. Have it do a lot of work, um, which is kind of what I do with Midjourney. I have it do a lot of work, and then sometimes you don't want to have it do the work for you. I don't know exactly. I'm still trying to figure out the way to make that good advice. What else?
Well, I think that people wanted to sort of automate a lot of stuff with further resume writing and job searching.
There's a lot of it that's just grunt work. That's kind of a grind. That's kind of all the same thing. But and then we were kind of joking that it's like kind of ironic that you have the bot write your resume and then you have their bot read the resume.
Yeah,
Nobody's actually doing anything. So I was kind of wondering, I think if I were looking, I would do some of that with a bot. Maybe not ChatGPT. Maybe I would pay for an AI resume, whatever. But then I think I would also, if I were hunting for jobs, I would also do some pretty like detailed and long conversations with ChatGPT. Hey, help me get a resume to somebody who's actually going to read it rather than just a bot. And what are some tips and tricks about job hunting that are kind of outside the box? And so I think I would go both approaches. Maybe is what I would do.
yeah,
Hey, Paul,
it's challenging now.
it is challenging. Um, does anybody have something they want to cover? And if not, I'll just keep nattering on about local LLMs or image generation or something.
I see there's a message there in the chat. I don't know whether it's a question or not.
I need to change my first video.
Yeah. Maybe they need help or something.
Yeah, or maybe they need a reminder. We we RJ and I have been wanting to try something called MemGPT, and we actually finally tried it earlier this morning. Let me show you. It happened to be left on my screen, kind of. And for better or for worse, it's terminal mode. But the idea with the MemGPT is you have an LLM like ChatGPT in the background, but then you have MemGPT, which has a database and also some instructions to drive ChatGPT. So if I scroll back a little bit here, because of the way we set it up, it turned out that I was Chad and I like Formula One and sailing. So as soon as MemGPT woke up, it's like, hey Chad, I see you like that. Can you tell me more about your interests? So the interesting thing, and then I said, no, I want to know about what you like. So the interesting thing that MemGPT does is it has ChatGPT talk to itself, like have a dialogue with itself in its mind that we can't hear really, except that we can see it here. So here it is thinking, about what to say, about what I said and what to say. And so then it says this, and then I keep going, and it's still continuing to like watch itself, observe itself, thinking about what it should say and things like that. So the other thing that we wanted to test, and we only got to test it for a minute, but I switched this from whatever to, hey, let's practice learning a language. And then I asked it to pick a language. And so it goes through the whole thought process of which language it should pick. So he's curious. Pete is curious, and he thinks he might like something less conventional. So the bot picked Latin. So this is a really good thought process, and I didn't ask it to do it. It just did it itself with MemGPT prompting it. So
Is this
anyway,
an expert? Was this an experts mixture model?
this one right here is OpenAI GPT-4.
Okay.
Um,
So we're
and
not watching the dialogue of a mixture of experts, sort of. I was
we
just
are
wondering.
not. We're actually, the mixture of experts is having their internal dialogue, and then it's GPT-4, MemGPT is externalizing the summary of that dialogue. That's kind of interesting. That's a good point, RJ. So a thing that we wanted to test was, let's start learning some Latin, and then, I've got to go, I've got to do something else. So I killed it, and then we restarted it, and I was pretending it was later, and hey, what language were we practicing? And then it thinks, Chad seems to have forgotten the language we were practicing. Uh, so then it says out loud, we were practicing Latin. You want to continue or switch to another topic? And then what phrase were we? And it's like, here's the one, what we were. So there's two sessions here, not like a regular ChatGPT sessions. They're two different sessions. And usually ChatGPT wouldn't remember something over multiple conversations like that. But with MemGPT running it, it does. So super interesting.
So, Peter, let me ask you, you're a big Obsidian user, and I guess you're like you use it to learn stuff and then or keep track of stuff. But now that we have AI, are you thinking of shifting over some of your learning kind
Yeah,
of tracking to AI or?
that's a great question, RJ. I will continue to use Obsidian for a long time because I'm really good with Obsidian and then all the tools that I've built up over time. that do stuff with, you know, an Obsidian database, which is just text files. So I have a lot of tools for text files. I've already, and maybe I can do this with MemGPT. I played around with ChatGPT once a little bit, getting it to, you know, I was going to tell it, you know, because I wake up some mornings, and it's like, okay, what of the 20 things that I have to do are the ones that have to be done first? And so I started chatting with ChatGPT, you know, hey, here's some of the things I need to do, and you know, now interview me about the priorities of these, and try to remember which ones, you know. So even in one conversation, I was starting to test that. So I think that's where I'll go with ChatGPT or MemGPT first, is um, buffer a little the stuff that I need to get done for me, and help me figure out, you know, my whole you know, what to do
Claire,
next.
could you go on mute because we can hear a dog, or is that you, Peter?
It's not me today.
I
I'll hit Claire's
I
mute.
hear a dog in the background, or maybe it's Brandon.
I'm muted.
Hello, sorry. Yep, just joined in and it automatically unmuted me.
Hi, Brandon.
My
We were
dog was
looking.
barking.
My dog usually is barking, but not right now. Brandon, we were just looking at MemGPT. We played it with a little bit this morning, and we're talking about it, and what we might do with an agent that has memory, and will it take over things that you might do with Obsidian? It will certainly take over some things that I do with Obsidian, but not a lot of it for a while.
So given that, what are the advantages of one or the other? Because that was the main reason for me asking.
Um, the I would, you know, if it did everything I needed it to, I would be pretty happy using a bot instead of Obsidian. But the things I can do with it are a lot, right? So let me see if I can. One of the things I do with Obsidian. Here's an Obsidian window here. I'm going to open up. You know, so the funny thing is this. The thing that one of the Obsidian vaults I have handy is all of my ChatGPT conversations. And so it's easy for me to sort and search and merge these things lots of different ways with the text tools that I have. So I guess that's a good example of where if I wanted to merge, like search for particular conversations and then merge them all together, I can do that pretty quickly with my text tools. It would be clunky to do that with an LLM. The other thing I like to do with this particular vault is search for things, you know, like particular words or something like that. And that's actually something that an LLM would be pretty good at too. So that's not something that, Brendan?
Just curious if you've ever looked into any kind of integration between ChatGPT and Obsidian, where you could kind of say, like, prompt ChatGPT to export to Obsidian and have it like call an
Yeah,
action that
actually,
drops it into
yeah,
a vault.
yeah. RJ last week was reminding us that there's at least one plugin for that in Obsidian. Let's go look for it real quick. Let me pick a vault that I don't mind messing up a little bit. This is the vault where I build the AI 101 website off of. So this isn't the only thing that you can do with Obsidian. Obsidian is good for general purpose information management with text files. But one of the things that I use it for is also creating websites, and happy to explain the tools for that at some point. But so Obsidian has a thing called plugins, and there's two kinds. There's the ones that the Obsidian people make, and then there's the open source ones. So we'll go to the open source ones and look for maybe GPT 4. So I played with one of these a long time ago. So there's too many to kind of try real quick. So then the next thing to do is to look at the download count numbers. Text generator, I don't know. That looks kind of interesting. I like this. I like the marketing on this one, a nearly seamless integration of ChatGPT into Obsidian. So maybe let's try this one. It's going to be kind of interesting to figure out this on the fly. But let's give it a shot.
No pressure, Peter.
Thanks for reminding me of that, Cindy. I appreciate it.
We'll take what we can get. I'm just happy to be here. I'm not choosy. No judgment over here. That's for sure.
Gotcha. So there you go. Let me try that one more time. So I got a error message up here about not having the right API or not. Well, I didn't set the API key, so it's not surprising it's not right. So you might see here actually one of the kind of joys and maybe frustrations a little bit with Obsidian is I feel like I lost it. Oh, I've switched to a different vault. No, this is the right vault. I wonder if it turned itself off. Let's keep going here. I'll fill in the API key here. Let me drag that to a different screen real quick and find my API key. And so we talk a fair bit about APIs and API keys. Let me. This is a little bit hard on the smaller screen. It's a little bit far away. I'm not sure this is going to work because there's something wrong. I should be able to see all the, and I did before. I should be able to see all the commands here in this command palette thing, and I'm not. So let's do something where we turn it off and on. And command palette chat. Nope. I guess I kind of lost it. Let's skip ahead. I don't want to bore people. Let's try another one. Anyway, APIs is a way for one computer to talk to another computer, is a way to think of it. And then an API key is like the password when you're using somebody else's computer. Let's use this text generator. It's probably going to be easier. And if it was just me, I'd probably watch the YouTube, but I end up not having a lot of patience for YouTube anyway, or videos in general. But here's how to get started. Create an OpenAI account, get a access token, configure API key, generate text. Okay. Let's look at the generate text part. Consider context, transformer. Dang, this is complicated too. Let me do the OpenAI, sorry, the API key thing again. And text generator. Oops. So let's install it, enable it, and then find the settings panel for it. I think it's going, yeah, there we go. Here's the API key. So, so let me drag this over to the other screen, do the copy and paste thing. And then drag it back. And even without reading the docs. So this is what I was expecting with the ChatGPT plugin. If I type a little bit of stuff, I ought to be able to find the commands in the command palette. So here's an easy one, generate text. It's got a hotkey. Let's make another page. And in Obsidian, it looks like that. Test page or text generator. And I like to make a H1 at the top with that. So then if I do Command J, that was the create text. So you can see that this came back from GPT-4, which is kind of like ChatGPT. You can see that the text generator plugin took at least the title here and said this is generate some text for the test page for text generator. So let's do an experiment here and see what happens if I hit generate text from here. There you go. So I typed Mary had a little lamb, and it typed its fleece was white as snow. So I'm going to cheat and pretend that I wrote something. I'm going to use my friend ChatGPT to ask me to write something. Write half of a story about a bunny. Cindy's just getting started with AI stuff, and so I was going to make a. I was wondering. I should have said make half of a short story about a bunny, so it wouldn't go on and on and on. I don't know how this counts as half a story. Yeah, there you go. It got started with a story, and it's like dot dot dot. Keep going. One of the things to notice was, Cindy, this was a little bit slow, and it's because we're using a really smart model, GPT-4. So if you pick one that's good but not great, this one is GPT-4 is great. If you pick a really good one, 3.5, it's going to be a lot faster.
And 3.5 is free, at least for now.
You can get to 3.5 for free. Yeah, good point, Claire. And there's a lot you can do with it, and it's probably actually a really good place to start. Now that I think about it, from that viewpoint. Another thing is getting used to keeping track of all your conversations here. And when we went over to Obsidian, this is the plugin here where I can export all of these and save them in Obsidian and search them and stuff like that. Search them and sort them and change them if I want. So anyway, what I was going to do was take this whole thing. Sometimes you want to, well, if it's something small, and if it's something small, you can just copy off the web page like this. Something longer, it might be better if I click the copy button. Sometimes that works a little bit better. So now I'm going to write this and do the same generate text thing. So here's where it started generating text. It's going fast. So I don't know if this is a great, well, I mean, I thought that was an amazing demo. um, it's not easy for us to kind of uh, uh, review it well in a short amount of time. But anyway, this is, you know, it up here, it had very little context. You know, there's a blank page called text page for text generator. So it's like, okay, I guess maybe they want something like this. And for this is a good answer. You can see text generator is kind of clever. You know, I got a lot of text, and it's a kind of involved story, and it just picked up right where the other GPT left off. So I'm pretty amazed. That's awesome. Brandon, what do you think?
I think it's really cool. I did honestly, I had no idea that you could even do that. So that's awesome.
Cool. Let's see if we can figure out any of the other things that it can do real quick and try that. Set max tokens is an interesting thing. Let's come back to that for a sec. Generate a title. That sounds really cool. Generate an insert. Oh, let's try this. So this kind of blows my mind. I've never quite seen something like this before, but previously we were looking at all, I don't know, there's thousands, I think, of Obsidian plugins that do lots of different kinds of things, not just AI. So then we installed a text generator plugin, and it's got its own little, you know, app store thing just for templates. So makes a lot of sense, actually. So these are probably things where you can install this and then be set up to generate stuff using text generator out of that, you know, based on that template. Let's just try if we can. So I've never tried this template thing before. So yeah, awesome. What that did is it created this directory here, and then created another directory called prompts, and then it created another directory called awesome prompts. And then here's the prompts. So this is like this is a little bit like a GPT. So if you were creating a GPT that did something like you know, if you made an automobile mechanic GPT, this is the kind of thing that you would do. You would write a prompt like this. And then you would write a description for it and a name and all that. So this is doing essentially the same thing as a GPT, except it's built to work with text generator. I don't actually know. I guess actually maybe. Open template as a tool. Show modal from template. Let's try that one. That sounds great. So these are essentially like they're the similar idea as the GPT. And I don't know exactly how to use this. I guess let's go back to our bunny story, which is called test, right? So if I select some text and then do generator, show model from template, product manager. So what it did is it took what I highlighted, this selection, and then it's going to give it to the template, which is kind of like a GPT. So then this is the yeah, this is like the next step in the conversation with the product manager template. So a PRD is a product requirements document, and presumably I could keep going and flesh that out. So it's kind of like Brandon had a great idea. Isn't there some way that you could do ChatGPT and Obsidian together? And here you go. The equivalent of a GPT is built into Obsidian through the plugins and the templates and stuff like that. I'm not demoing it very well because I don't really know how to use it. So maybe I'll practice that a little bit, and in a week or two we'll have another better demo. This, by the way, this prompts thing, there's a custom, maybe is a way to put it. Somebody came up with the idea of keeping a repository of something, and they called it awesome repository of something. I forget what the original one is. And now there's a bunch of them, awesome somethings that that are super helpful. It's a big, collection of stuff that's awesome. So let me actually look for, yeah. I think at this point there's, yeah, here you go. This is an article about awesome lists. And let's try to, instead of reading about one, let's try to find one again. Awesome ChatGPT actually would be good enough. And this is, this isn't the templates one that we're using. This is something else, just a bunch of resources about ChatGPT written as an awesome list. So these things are built in a system called GitHub, and GitHub is used for software. It's also used for GitHub is where I do cloud backups of Obsidian vaults, and also cloud collaboration with Obsidian vaults. So yet another thing that you can do with GitHub that's kind of cool. Let me see. I think there's now there's awesome lists of awesome lists, but I think there's probably maybe I can find somebody started it, and maybe it's this person. I don't know. Lots of ads. Here you go. What is an awesome list? So somebody's curating all the awesome lists. The person who created the idea of awesome lists. Let me put this link in chat. If I can find the chat on my other screen. There you go. Wow, that was kind of a little rat hole, but the awesome lists are actually super useful, and there's going to be a fair bit of AI stuff, and so um, it's really cool the way open source works. Once Obsidian had a plugin system, then people would write open source plugins, and then the open source plugin people can write, they can leverage other open source things, and it's all kind of a virtuous circle of people doing awesome stuff. So we got 10 more minutes. I can keep going extemporaneously, or if somebody's got a question or something, or a way to point me, that would be great too.
I had a question, Peter.
Paul.
I've only been in Midjourney about a week now, and I've generated tons of pictures. It's all been done on the same bot, though. So I've got a really long list of stuff there. And I don't know if I should use another bot or if I'm going to lose these if I delete or something. Or so I'm just kind of at a,
Yeah, that's
don't know how to
a great
proceed
question.
and how
Let me
to store it.
let me show you a couple of Midjourney tips and tricks.
I had a similar question. I wasn't sure
How to even ask it.
how to get well that even now, but like everything that I see that it's saved under like my pictures or something, but then I don't know how to get it off of them and onto me.
Yeah. So Paul, when you said bot, that kind of sounds like when you start off with Midjourney, you're in one of the newbies channels. Is
Mhm.
that?
Probably. I
you,
don't know if it's a newbies one or not. It's just the one I ended up on. I just never left.
yeah. There's, do you see lots of other people generating stuff at the same time as
I
you?
don't, but I see when I click on the icon that there's about a dozen people on there, but I don't see anything else generated by them.
Interesting. This will all change real soon now, when, when Midjourney moves off of Discord, and they're starting to do that. But until then, when you just get started, you start off in a newbies room, and I even kind of forget, you message and you get a thing. The thing that sends stuff back to everybody, all the newbies in that channel, and there's different channels. The thing that sends it back is the Midjourney bot. So one of the first tricks is if you click on this and type anything there, you get to a DM just with a Midjourney bot. So then these are only mine. So that's one kind of little step. Then you don't lose, thank goodness, you don't lose all the images that you've generated. If you go to midjourney.com and click on my images here, these are all your images. So they're there, thank goodness. And then they call the when it generates 4 images all together, that's called a grid. So in this, you can see I only want it to look at grids. If I only look at upscales, these are the ones I've upscaled. These are everything kind of, but then all is grids and upscales, which will duplicate. So this grandma and this grandma are the same. So I like to pick grids here. Then I only see one of each. Some other filters, 5 or 6, and aspect ratio stuff. That's pretty cool. So then this has been changing too, but I think this is going to stay stable for a little bit. If you go to the day it is, I'm going to go to a different, more interesting day than today. It was a busy day. Let me try to do this a little bit faster. I wonder if I just missed the day. Oh, Sunday. I missed a few days in there. So anyway, you find the name of a day. I think there's a way to select one, but I don't do that. You can select all, and then a little thing pops up, and you can say download. So you can download it every day, day by day.
How did you open that bunch of choices on the right side there? Folders and the image side.
I
don't see
feel like
that.
it's been there all the time. I didn't do anything to open it. Let me try going back to, I think it's just there. This is a little bit new. the interface is slowly changing, and so I think it's there all the time, is my guess. It used to not be there all the time, but I think it is now. Let me show you kind of a preview. Some people are lucky or cursed enough or something to have the alpha version, which they're still working on, where you can generate images. So here's oops, here's that same thing. These are a little bit different, I think. Yeah, not really. I saw this sidebar thing come up in alpha first, and then
I
it's
found it on
in beta
mine.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So one of the things they're working towards is getting it so you don't have to use Discord at all. You can just generate stuff here.
And what about
And
saving bunches of pictures? Is there a good way to do that?
that was
And
I it's this. You click on that and then you get a thing that pops up. I only ever care to save all of them. So literally I don't know how to save just a few. Although if you're just saving a few, it's super easy. Um, I what I did there, let me go back to the non-alpha one. They're very similar, but it might be a little confusing. Um, uh, if you're looking at this gallery view, you can just click one of these. By the way, all the spooky ladies are from, it, it was single word prompts. I got in a weird space. I didn't like them. If you click on one of these, then you've still got the gallery view here on the right, and you can actually scroll up and down. I'm using my scroll wheel to go one at a time up and down, or you can use the arrow keys. And here, with the three-dot menu, you can do things like download or copy a prompt or a seed. Sometimes those are useful. There's a thing also where you can, rate things and favorite things and stuff like that. I don't do that at all. So a thing that you should know, let's look at the Midjourney pricing real quick. Oops. Let's see. They don't tell you this, and it's, I don't know, weird when you figure it out, I thought. There's a thing called stealth mode. And you don't get stealth mode until you're at the pro plan, which is really expensive. I'm actually on the pro plan. I'm embarrassed to say, but I use it a lot. So stealth mode means that you can switch it and say, I want this image to be private. If you don't do that, people can theoretically find it. There's so many images generated with Midjourney. I'm not sure that they're going to find any particular image, but so this is my images, right? When you just hit this page, or if you hit explore, you see other people's images. And any of these, you can do the exact same thing. You can click on the image, you can download the image, you can copy the prompt, or this, I guess not the seed. You can copy the prompt at least. So it's a thing to kind of remember that if you're not doing it professionally, well, if you're doing it professionally, but you're using a lower tier account, other people might end up using your image, and there's not really anything you can do to stop it. So Midjourney is doing kind of a clever thing. This is a way to, I don't know, get everybody using it all at once, kind of. But it's a little frustrating when you're, especially if I'm working for a client or something. It's like, using their logo or their name or something like that would be kind of frustrating. A thing, it's actually, so I'm not sure that I'm happy that I can see everybody's images, but on the other hand, it's really useful. This is a great way to learn prompts, to look at and see what prompt people are using, and and what success they're getting at different styles and stuff like that. Another thing, this has not been working for me. Let's try it. If you click search image, it looks for images that it's generated that are similar or this, the same, conceptually very similar. And then you can look through these and look at the different kinds of prompts that get you different kinds of, images that are nearby, but a little bit different. So then I do that sometimes when I'm generating something by random kind of. So this is a random one. This is conjecture spelled backwards. So I can go, huh, that's cool. I'm not going to use this prompt again because I won't get this again. But if I wanted things like that, what would I prompt it with? This is something where it's taking a while it takes a little while to load prompts. You might have seen in AI 101 when we started playing, I was playing, oh, sorry, it's show and tell. In show and tell, I posted a really beautiful image of a girl and a fantasy background kind of thing. It's very pretty. It's one of the and it's not that I prompted it to get that. The prompt was literally just the word prompt. That's it. So when you don't give Midjourney enough information, it kind of hallucinates. And this is one of the standard hallucinations, is the way I think of it. So different people are using a prompt and they think they're actually prompting it. Maybe some of these people don't. This person doesn't. But anyway, this is one of the standard hallucinations. A person with a fantasy background, a little person fantasy background. And these are specifically trees, it looks like, if I look at it. So a lot of these, some of them are actually prompts that kind of describe this, but some of them aren't at all. One more trick, by the way, when you're looking at an image, you can also click the person. So if you find somebody who's done a couple cool images, you can click on them and see, the different kinds of things they do. Sometimes it takes a little while to load because they've got billions of images that they have to retrieve. So that one was interesting. The rest of his feed is not something I'd care about, but you never know. So there you go.
So if I understood you correctly, you can go through and save day by day, batch it the day.
You can save day by day. Yeah.
Can you save 7 months of every single day?
In the olden
Please?
days, but before they got fancy with this new interface, there was actually a
Yeah.
way to do it.
No.
Claire, let me see if I wrote that up somewhere on AI Salon of like 2 months ago. There was a URL you could still get to, even though they're making the new version, that would let you. It had a different thing where you could select all, and select all over days and days and days. And I've done that, I think, for months. It used to be that I could select months at a time. With this new one, it's a day at a time, and it's super frustrating.
Okay, thank you.
And what I did was when I did that, I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't saved for months. I set up a little spreadsheet or something like that with all the dates, and you click on a day and download all, and click on a day, download all, because what happens is you do that for 10 or 20 minutes and you're through like a few weeks, right? So you need to keep track of what you've saved and what you haven't saved. And a thing to watch out for, I got myself confused with whether the day was in GMT or my local time or something like that. It started to get a little bit fuzzy for me. So,
Okay.
so I was double saving some things, I'm sure, because that
Yeah,
was safer than not saving something, right? A gap.
would have
I'll
never
look for
occurred to me. Thank
that
you.
old interface.
Okay, thanks.
The other thing, and maybe we'll cover this another time, there's a tool, and this is going to go away with when they do the web version, but there's a tool in Discord where you can save chats. And so I've used that to just save off all my prompts without the images. So that was super helpful too. For
Cool,
another
thanks.
time. Folks, it's been super fun. That kind of time. So I'll see you again. hope you had a good time.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Peter.
you.
Take care,
Yeah.
Thank
everybody.
you as always.
Take care.
I
Thank
know.
you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Peter. Great.